today I am just popping on real quick before work because I realized that I didn't post my weekly wrap up on Sunday, like was my idea. And I had a 3-day weekend this past week, so you would think that I would have gotten it up at least Sunday or Monday, but I didn't. So now it's Tuesday at 7:45 in the morning, and I am just about to leave for work, but I thought I would try to come on here really quickly and tell you what I have gotten read in the first, um, the first week and a half-ish of Victober. And I forgot to bring my cross-stitch project up to show you. So if I get time later tonight, I will pop that clip on. This week is going to be really crazy. So I don't know. Definitely, I don't think there's going to be a vlog style thing because I don't think there's anything that I can really like take clips of. You hopefully will see at the beginning of this a montage. My family and I have a membership to our local conservatory slash botanical gardens kind of a thing. And they have their fall show going on right now. So we took one of the weekend days this weekend to go see that show, and it was beautiful as always. The theme was rhythm and blooms. So it was all different eras and styles of music themed in each room, which was really, really fun. A fun theme, and you got to hear like different eras of music being piped in each of the rooms, so that was fun. But anyway, let's get on to what I read, because I have been doing really well in in Victober this month, which is shocking. I have actually finished 4 different Victorian things, not necessarily novels, in the first week and a half ish of Victober. So the first thing I finished, which you're not going to be able to see from this, but Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. This is the group read for Kate Howell's Patreon. And I was planning on going to the discussion for this at the end of the month. And then a family thing got scheduled for that exact same day around the same time. So I probably will not be able to go to the discussion unless there's a rain out date, because the thing that my family was going to do is outside. So if we get rain, which is a big possibility in Western PA in the fall, then I might be able to go. But anyway, this is not a very long book, and the actual book has lots of pictures. But I ended up listening to this on audio, and it was really good. It was probably more nostalgic than anything else for me. I guess it's a kid's book, although there's a lot of like death and kind of, I mean, it's not like gratuitous death really, I guess, but maybe an older child would enjoy this. I am not like a big pirate person unless it's Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean, but but so like I would listen to it for a certain amount of time every day, and the narrator was really good, but I would get really tired of pirate voices after so long. So it took me a little while to get through it. But it was a fun story, very adventure-y. Um, but yeah, I mean, I gave it 3 stars because I enjoyed it. It was nostalgic, but it wasn't like the best thing I've ever read. And for as short as it was, for me to be like, okay, I'm done with pirate dialect for a while, was just kind of like, it got a little old after a while. So then the next thing that I finally finished was a reread of Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I started out reading this physically, and that was my plan. My friend Joe and I are buddy reading this, and we started it before Victober actually started. So we probably would still be going with it if we had started October 1st, but we started, I don't know, like September 28th or something like that. And as you can see, I started tabbing like my favorite parts, but then you can see as I went to the audiobook version more and more, I just didn't. So I probably will go back at some point and try to like kind of skim and find my favorite parts to finish the tabbing because that looks sad. I mean, for a book that I like this much, that's not very many tabs. But yeah, I just this reread gets better every time. I would say for somebody who isn't a big rereader, this is probably the thing that I have reread most since I started BookTube. And usually on audiobook, I'll say, and this one ended up being no different. I read about half of the book physically, and then the other half I switched to audio. But I love it every time, and I think that definitely for me is a testament to how good it is because generally like I poop out in the middle of a reread. So, and it probably helped too that I was reading it with a friend who hadn't read it in, I think she said like 30 years. So it was kind of almost like rereading or reading it for the first time for both of us because it's been a while for me too, and a lot of the little things in here I didn't really remember. So that was really fun. But I'm not going to say anything about Jane Eyre because I feel like anything I would say would be spoilery. But I guess basically this goes through the main character Jane Eyre's life, basically from a small child to a full-fledged adult. She goes from prior to school to going to a boarding school to finding her way in the world and finding her first job and love and all that stuff and heartbreak and blah blah blah. So all the good things about a Victorian novel. Yeah, it was very good. This is this is always 5 stars. And the next thing I finished, I don't have a physical copy of it, but it is Honest Faith by Charles Spurgeon. And I had this on ebook, and it's just a very short, I don't even think it was 100 pages maybe. And Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia, Chrissy from Chrissy's Purple Library, and Dia from Novel Idea are doing a read along of this, and they have had 2 live streams so far, both of which basically I missed. The first one I popped on and I said hi, and then I got interrupted and couldn't go back to it. And then the second one, I just totally missed it. So I just ended up just finishing the book, and I figured hopefully I can catch a few of their other lives. If not, they're on, I think they're all on Tiffany's channel, so I can just go back to them and watch them at least. But the one thing I'll say about Spurgeon that I find for me is very he's very dense and very intelligent, obviously. So I have a little bit of a harder time uh, getting it, maybe. So I feel like I need to spend more time with it. So that's why I just thought I would just read it, get it done, then go back maybe and watch the live streams, and then maybe read it again, maybe in November, since it's a nonfiction. I can use it for nonfiction November and kind of maybe like highlight more of the stuff and like take some notes and kind of use it more as like a Bible study kind of a thing. We'll see. I'm not real sure if I'm going to have time for that, but the land of good intentions. So, but that one, it was very good. But like I said, it was dense. So, I have to, Spurgeon's definitely somebody that I have to take a little more time with than I did for this book. And then the last thing that I just finished last night was the play Charlie's Aunt by Brandon Thomas. I always want to say it like I actually say aunt, but then it sounds weird when I'm talking about a Victorian play. I feel like I should say aunt. um, but this was this kind of gave me Oscar Wilde vibes, in that it was definitely was attempting to be witty and fast paced and like people mistaken identities kind of a thing, kind of like the importance of being earnest. I would say that this is not as good as Oscar Wilde, but it was really fun anyway. And definitely the second act, I think, was more fast paced and entertaining than the first act, and good thing because I am doing the reason I started reading this was number one. This was I believe this is Roz's challenge for Victober is to read a Victorian drama, and also, we are doing a play reading of this play in Kate Howe's Patreon this coming weekend. And I am playing I kind of have a large role, I guess, in the second act. So I was highlighting my lines last night, and I have a fair amount of lines. So not that I have to memorize them, we're reading it, but I just kind of wanted to have like an idea, so I don't stumble over all my words. So yeah, I think the second act is definitely more entertaining. So I'm glad to be in that scene or in that act. So hopefully I do a good job. um, okay, so that is actually all I have for you at the moment. My plans for this coming week are to read more of Little Dorrit. I've been slowly going through that, but my friend and I, who have been reading it together slowly since probably the beginning of September, maybe before that. I can't really remember when we first started it, but we are going to attempt to have it finished by the end of the month. We'll see if we can actually do that, but I plan to listen to a few chapters of that today. Well, I mean, this week, and hopefully today too. I have started Dr. Wardle's School by Anthony Trollope with another friend, Amy from Renewing Stitches. She is a floss tube friend. We are talking about that, and we are really enjoying it. It's very I don't know. It's very so far. It's like heartbreaking and heartwarming at the same time. So and kind of funny at the same time. So a very good Trollope, I think. I think we're both going to enjoy that. And I want to start Vice Versa by F. Anstey this week. That is one that I found out about from Dickens and Docs on Instagram. So I want to start that because I only have that in ebook. So I need to actually read it with my eyeballs, which hasn't happened a whole lot this Victober. This year, actually. I haven't actually read with my eyeballs too much. So I have to do that with that one. And it's going to be a very busy week. I have something planned for the evening pretty much every day this from tonight through, well, Thursday at least, probably Friday as well. And well, and I told you I have the play reading on Saturday, but that's during the afternoon. So but yeah, anyway. Ooh, I've been talking for 13 minutes, which is pretty good for me, but I got to go to work. So I will talk to you hopefully next week. All right, bye friends.